We're here again at PPW, home of the brave. I'm here, the boss man. You're the guy doing big things here.
That's right, that's right.
Afa Jr., talent, trainer. I mean, you wear a lot of hats here.
I do.
Right now,
too many hats.
I'm stealing him for a couple minutes because he's also watching everybody and his students setting up stuff for the Tonight Show. But yeah, I definitely want to get into that, man. Like, obviously, it's no secret what your family has accomplished, and this is in your blood. This is exactly you've been born into this.
Yeah, 100%.
And not only has your family been an amazing, talented family who have just, in my personal opinion, we always say it in the show, the Samoan family is the top of the wrestling family. Like
by numbers alone.
Yeah, and just
numbers, world champions. However you want to look at it, it's us.
But not only, and I would say second place probably the Hearts.
I would put the McMahons in second place, but you know, that's just me.
Very true, very true. But also like the Hearts and the Samoans, especially if you grew up in Pennsylvania, the biggest thing for us is if you were going to go to a wrestling school,
right?
You had the Wild Samoan Training Center was Hazleton and Allentown, and it's been a staple. Now you're kind of taking that on yourself with Battlefield.
That's right.
Yeah.
So my dad, my family, the Wild Samoan Training Center has basically been first training center, I'd like to say the first recognized training center in all of North America. Since then, obviously, hundreds and thousands of other small-time training centers have come into the business, but we started the game.
Yeah,
we got a little noise, you know, they're working, but it's we'll work around it.
Part of the business,
you know. But nowadays, it's about quality. You know what I mean? We have the history. We definitely have the history as far as training world champions and training WWE stars and AEW stars and Impact stars, Ring of Honor stars, and any kind of star you can name we've trained, you know what I mean? So for the recent COVID and, you know, recent activities in the world, the Wild Samoan Training Center, unfortunately, is no longer. With that being said, the torch has been passed, and we've rebranded. And we've rebranded into the Battlefield Pro Wrestling Performance Center.
In Broadheadsville, Pennsylvania.
And that is in Broadheadsville, Pennsylvania, and it is a state-of-the-art facility. I'm talking straight performance center. When I say performance center, I don't take that lightly. I say it because the WWE has a performance center. And so do we. We got a full gym, we got a full arena, we got everything, we got tanning bed, sauna, we got basketball, man, we got anything that you need is right here in this Battlefield Pro Wrestling Performance Center.
Now the cool thing, just from an outside person experiencing, is every show, there's always either a training session before the show, so your students are prepared, and then they all stay after and help with the show, which is fantastic. But also, we've seen a lot of really cool names in the business come here, and I've seen a lot of seminars, and I've seen a lot of things, but I've never seen seminars that are almost they're replicas of what you're going to get if you're going to be TV ready.
Oh, absolutely.
Doc Gallows ran an amazing one. Jay Lethal, Brian Kendricks. I mean, the list goes on and on and on of the ones we've seen here. I mean, the day I seen Jay Lethal chain wrestle every single one of your students, 15 minutes, like 10 minutes apiece, was absolutely fantastic.
Well, that's the good thing is when these guys like Jay Lethal and Brian Kendrick and Doc Gallows and these kind of guys, they come here. I've all essentially trained with them. You know what I mean? I've come up through the ranks with these guys. And so they know what they're getting into. They know that I'm trained well, so they're pretty much expecting that I train well. You know what I mean? And then when they get in there and able to roll around with guys that are day one guys, you know what I mean? Jay Lethal's in there locking up with guys that are day one guys. And you know, it's a real privilege to be here, and you know, at the Battlefield, because we got a lot of cool things going on here.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And what has been post-pandemic, obviously PPW and the school were kind of both in a limbo spot where we couldn't run in the school anymore because of the pandemic. And if you're going to get people in the school, you want less people in the gymnasium and risk of spread. So it's kind of almost been a perfect merger of you guys coming together as a school and also having PPW join here. Shed a little light on that.
Yeah, my relationship with PPW goes back to the beginning, you know, to the very first Super Show, you know what I mean? I've always been part of PPW, former PPW champion, no limits champion, every kind of champion that you could be here, I have been. Took some time off, you know what I mean, to chase different goals that I've had internationally and stuff like that, working in Europe and Puerto Rico and stuff like that. But now we're back. And with the pandemic thing, the world was so unsure, you know, and with the world being unsure, the only thing that I knew for sure was I was building this PC.
Another thing that was for sure is people were hungry for live wrestling again.
That's right, because we were the first ones.
These have all been sold out shows.
We were the first ones in the state of Pennsylvania to actually run live events.
Yep.
We were the first ones, the first venue, the first gym, the first company, you know what I mean? Like we essentially brought wrestling back post-pandemic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we've been riding ever since. And I know you guys haven't seen it yet, but we'll pan the camera around a little bit, man. Wait till you see what we did to this place.
It looks unbelievable. We got pictures. You guys will see. Come doing interviews and vlogs. It'll all be up. But the crazy thing is, man, it's so stressful running a wrestling show and getting everything. And you're like, I'm so exhausted. But I will say, my favorite thing about PPW post-pandemic and being here in Broadheadsville is, man, every show, not only does the talent bring it, but the talent steps it up every show because the fans bring it.
That's right.
The most energetic fans in Pennsylvania, they come here.
Yeah.
But anything in closing you want to promote or get over?
I just want to promote Battlefield Pro Wrestling, you know what I mean, in our Performance Center. You could catch out all the links and stuff like that through the PPW website. You could also
be below too.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You could check out my personal pages. They'll link it all, I'm sure, you know what I mean, in the description. But classes are forming. Right now we have about 40-some students. We're expanding.
Any students, maybe we should keep an eye on? What do you think right now?
Oh, yeah. So the PPW Tag Team Champions are my students.
I love Martinez.
Phil Martinez and Vinnie Mac.
Vinnie Mac.
They're both my
good.
students.
So good.
Nikki Duke is one of my students. Tim Theory is one of my students. Tommy Pro, the referee, is one of my students.
Fantastic.
Who else we got, man? We got everybody, man. It's pretty much every other person on the roster.
I've been seeing Tim Theory do a lot more than just wrestle today, and I'm very, very proud of it, because it's like the small things that people don't see what goes into making a wrestling show happen.
Yeah, that's right.
Theory is sweating right now because he's been running around trying to make this place look.
Tim has really stepped up. He's really one of the leaders in our camp. And yeah, man, we got a great group of guys. We got brand new guys. We got Reggie and Hector, who had just started, and you'll be hearing a lot more of their names. Well, maybe not those two names, but we got to give them gimmick names.
Yeah.
But after they get their gimmick names, you know what I mean? You'll be hearing about those guys, and we got kids like Zoe and Nai, and we got a big group. We got a big group, and they're all hungry. And we're teaching the business the right way through hard work, sweat and tears, and paying dues.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, if you want to find out how to get in the business, there's no better place than Battlefield Pro right now.
That's
Come
right.
out. You could be a referee. You could be anything in the business. They'll help
check
you
this out. And we're running a special right now that is extended all the way through the end of the summer. So it's going to expire on September 1st. So if you sign up between now and September 1st, get this, y'all ready for this? $250 a month. You ain't going to beat that anywhere else.
Never. And you're being trained by the greatest family in professional wrestling history.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
Man.
Thanks for having us.
We'll see you soon.
And make sure you check out Tornado Podcast.
Yeah.
Tornado Tag.
Tornado
Tag Podcast.